Hey guys, happy Witchy Wednesday. I don't even know what's funny, but I just found something very funny. I don't know. I was messing around with the camera, the features and the focus and the lighting and the balance of the lighting and the contrast, and if you want me to go on I will and I won't. So yeah, and it perfectly turned out for me. So no more flashing, and it actually kind of, I don't know if it did anything good, but it, whatever, so. But yeah, okay, so first, last night, strangest thing, I mean, this is really, really strange. Usually around this time, so I mean, I was up probably about until a little 10:50. I can't stay up no more. I can't stay up until like 11:30 like I used to. So I'm sitting here, and I am taking notes, I am writing, and I have my feet propped up right here because it really hurts my body, so I have to, you know, my feet hurt all the time. I'm always in pain, so it doesn't matter anyway. And it was really, really weird because this keeps happening. I mean, this is a brand new chair. There's nothing wrong with the floor. I even had my dad look at it. My dad's a plumber, electrician, a general contractor, a contractor, a subcontractor, HVAC tech, all of that. So, and he came in, he checked my floor out, and he measured it and leveled it and everything with the level and the, you know, everything's level. Everything's perfect in this room. And, you know, we tightened the screws on the chairs. Well, I did. I tightened the screws up on the chair and everything. And I just kept getting pushed back. I'm writing literally, and then all of a sudden, like 5 seconds later, I'm like, my toes are like, and I am out to here, and my toes are touching like my table barely. And I'm thinking, who is moving me? It's the little boy. So I really honestly think that little boy came back. I don't know if it is him. I don't know if it's him, honestly. I don't know if it's just some kind of energy in the house. Because I really honestly think because of this window and what has happened in this house, that is actually, you know, this is like a spiritual highway because of the crossroad we live on and then all the crap that happened on the land, and it's really crazy. So it was weird. It was just very strange. I don't know how many times I had to pull my chair up, you know, scoot yourself up, and it's hard to move this, and it's hard to move me because I don't weigh a lot or a little. I'm in the 190 range right now, so it was different, very different. So I don't know with the little boy, I don't know. I was smoking, so maybe he's trying to, you know, and then I burnt myself again last night, so maybe he's trying to tell me to be careful while I'm smoking my cigarettes. So I don't know. But today we're gonna talk about entering the twilight, which is, you know, a lot of meditation, a lot of, you know, placing your awareness and focus and attention on a different area, different realm, different other world, all of that, etc., so on and so forth. So it's pretty interesting stuff. You got to be really careful. I mean, especially with entering trances and stuff. I mean, you can't just enter a trance like that. I mean, I can now after, you know, so many years, but this will, yes, help explain. All right. So as mentioned briefly in chapter 1, when we were hollowing the compass, the traditional crafter is sometimes referred to as, in a specialist way, as a hedge writer. So yes, hedge witchcraft. So. This is an old Anglo-Saxon term referring to the fact that the witch spends much of their time and work beyond the boundaries of what we usually refer to as normality. So that is another realm, trance channeling, placing our awareness somewhere else, a different realm. The bedroom. If you want to walk around your bedroom, place your awareness somewhere else. Focus and attention. Astral travel, astral projection. It's so interesting, but this is so important. So, much of the crafter's work involves entering worlds and realms that the average person has never dreamt of. There's some crazy ones out there, let alone visited, and the hedge referred to is the symbolic barrier between this world and those of others. So this is, yeah, the river Styx, basically, the border, you know, the border that is separating us from another realm, the different worlds, all of that stuff. So the reasons for travel to these other worlds are various, obviously. It may be that the other realm is a better vantage point from which to cast a spell or make a charm, and we have touched actually upon that, entering light trance in the previous section, previous videos. It may be that the crafter wishes to meet with various spirits or deities, native and denizens of those other worlds. The better, the further their knowledge or abilities, to better and further our knowledge and abilities. So yeah, it's a lot easier. It's really, if you cast Like if you have an astral temple or someplace that you can go to in like Ouija Pop, when we all went to Ouija Pop and we left like shiny things behind, it still stands. Ouija Pop is still there, so if you cast a spell from there, literally it's more powerful if you're in the astral realm. So it may be that that they can obtain added energy or understanding of this world in which we all live can be achieved by viewing it from a different angle or a different vantage point. So yeah, it's very cool to actually leave your body and go to a different world. Traveling to Venus is quite fun. Yeah, those are, I mean, it's just really different. It's amazing. So, but the reasons are many and will probably vary from individual to individual. But the fact remains that entering different levels of or areas of reality, working in trance, or entering the twilight, as it's sometimes called, is a major part of traditional crafters' work. Yeah, big time. You guys know. So now, before we go on to describe the various techniques whereby trance working may take place, a word about what a trance is. Not a lot of people know what trance is. I mean, this is very common. Not a lot of people know. Okay, so contrary to popular opinion, unless it is an exceptionally deep experience, the crafter does not normally lose awareness of what is going on around them. Exactly, that's trance channeling. So their focus of attention and awareness is simply placed elsewhere. Just like, focusing on a part of your body. What does it feel like? What's going on down there? Like your knee. How do the bones feel? How do the joints feel? What do you feel is going on? Not what do you think is going on. So, now, and this is basically what the kind of trance that he says I am going to discuss here is. It is placing the immediate awareness of the witch into a different place or reality to that which we normally inhabit in our everyday working life. So, we stay present, very much so, but that's what happens to me when I Ouija. I really go into a trance channeling, and I just kind of go, and then it's, it happens with the tarot cards, and when I try to channel for people, people tell me to shut up because I talk too much. That's because I'm trance channeling. Alright, so, now, it is not actually losing consciousness and thrashing around on the floor, moaning and groaning in tongues, which I think is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Speaking in tongues. Churches have, nothing better to do than speak in tongues? It's stupid. It's stupidity. So it is not lying frozen in a catatonic state from which you have to be violently shaken to bring you back, nor is it sitting still and gazing vacantly into space for hours at a time, although this latter could come close. So yeah, it's not daydreaming, it's not staring off, it's completely different. So the type of trance entered into by a crafter is very different to that utilized by a devotee of voodoo, being ridden by one of the Loa or a spiritualist medium during a seance. These trances serve a compelling, is that what I wrote? A compelling different purpose. And by common cultural consent, the medium and the voodoo devotee are not expected to remember what happened whilst they were in the trance, and are positively encouraged to forget what they did or what was going on around them. That's because they eat glass, they eat fire, they walk on fire, they sacrifice animals, and the list goes on, and it's disgusting. It is sick. No animal should have to suffer because of a spiritual favor, or in asking for a boon, a spiritual boon or something. No animal needs to suffer. That's disgusting. So the witch, on the other hand, has very different reasons for entering the twilight worlds, or wherever, and usually needs to be very well aware of what is happening in every level that they inhabit. You got to be aware of all of it. Indeed, the whole point of trance working in traditional craft is that you do remember what happens all of the time. All the time. Now, part of the training of a traditional practitioner is awareness of who and what they are, and also of where they are. So this involves practices in focus and attention, coupled by a keen sense of visualization before any trance work proper can begin. So you do need to train yourself. You need to focus. You need to learn and read before you go into any trances. So the crafter also needs to be conscious of their own energy levels, both during work of this kind and for practical magical purposes. So energy raising techniques are also developed, again, before tranceworking can start. Now, however, the most important thing to learn before deeper work of any kind can be entered into this care, is the care and the succour of the individual crafter. I love that word, succour. So, their physical, mental, and spiritual well-being, personal protection, in other words, and this is where, he says, I propose to be in for this work. So, we will go on to the personal protection tomorrow, but this is just all about tranceworking, and you need to be very careful. You need to be very careful, because what happens if you're, focusing on a part of your body, and you make it stop? Because the breath, a full, complete breath, complete breathing, you can get yourself into some trouble. And that's not fun. It's scary. It's very scary. I've experienced this myself, and it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. And then I come out of it, and I didn't die. I'm like, oh, I'm here, thank whoever. Okay, so here's a big note right here. So, before we begin to describe any specific techniques, it would well to sound a note of caution. These techniques, although harmless in themselves, are real and valid and are intended to cause changes in consciousness. So, if you are taking any kind of prescription drugs for depression, anxiety, or any other kind of mental problem, or are taking any kind of the so-called recreational drugs, it would be well to leave these practices that's about to be described alone. I've worked with my medication and everything, so I'm well off with me. I'm very, very well balanced on my medications, everything, all that. So I don't worry about that. But I mean, if you guys are doing, something like this, entering trance work, be careful. Just be careful. So, wait until you have no need of medical or chemical support before experimenting with any of these techniques. I do disagree with that in a sense. I mean, precautions are good. You want to be very cautious because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know, you're going to get stuck somewhere and not be able to come back, to your mind. A lot of people do that and then end up in comas. So yeah, it's just, very different. But yeah, the Twylite is amazing, especially entering it. Oh my god, it is incredible. It really, really, really is. I love it. So yeah, I mean, not a lot compares to entering the Twylite, but yeah, it's interesting stuff. Especially when you actually get to, the visions of Malthus here have been crazy. The bird, the raven suit cloaked around him, it's just incredible. I love it, and I like what, he's imparting with me. I'm not going to tell, because I don't want that negative backlash that is very possible with Malthus. But I love you, Malthus. Pretty amazing Damon, so. Alright. That was a lot in about 13 minutes. Alright, let's do some coffee talk and see what's going on. Hopefully it loads for me. Maybe. It's also funny though when you point out all these things. Like, I honestly now I have come to the conclusion that Christians shouldn't even dabble in witchcraft at all. Not at all. If you're a Christian, stay Christian. Don't dabble in our stuff. Get out of it. I don't think they can mesh. I think it's butting heads, especially with the Christian God, because he has condemned everything the Christians are doing, like coming to get tarot readings and using magic and serving other gods. So yeah, I just think that Christians should leave it be. Like, completely leave the craft alone. All witchcraft. Sad, but it's true. Worshipping two gods can get you in deep. Crystal balls show you things that you should not see. That's a reference to a song, and I wonder if you guys can figure out what song that was. It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's a really good song, so I think you guys will like it. But it has two different meanings. Two different meanings. Alright. But yeah, I just wish Christians would stay out of witchcraft. Because then, that's how we get rumors started, that's how stuff starts to go bad, and then, if somebody has a bad experience, and they blame it on witchcraft, and then they're, boom, saved by Jesus again. How many times can you get saved? It's ridiculous. And for me personally, I find it kind of offensive, because I do worship the deities that I work with, just as a Christian would worship God, or Jesus, or whomever they're working with, the Holy Spirit, and etc., so on and so forth. So yeah, it's kind of offensive, actually. I mean, I wish I could talk to, the gods and goddesses, directly, and be like, what do you think about this Christian, worshiping God, but putting you, lesser than. So it's just weird. It's just very strange. Okay. Wow, logic user, hello. I love your logic. I love logic. Let's see what you have to say. How are you? 1 hour ago. Cool. Okay, there are no records of Bathsheba's life from the time she was born until March 10th, 1844, when she married Judson Sherman. According to local historians, she lived at the Arnold estate from age 17 till her late 20s. But that's what I've heard. Early 30s when she met Judson. During that time in between, when she was about 19, a baby believed to be the child of George and Jane Arnold died while in her care, yes. This was believed to be the baby that was found in a large gauge sewing knitting needle, being the cause of the mortal wound at the base of its skull. The bulk of Carolyn's research was not done in the state of Rhode Island, and she found several sources from places such as Massachusetts. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't think Bathsheba, I did not think that she had anything wrong to say. And Andrea Perrin, she actually does, say that, Bathsheba was not the evil one. She was not the evil one at all. Bathsheba actually really liked, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, Roger Perrin, Papa Perrin, is what, Andrea's, the tribe that follows Andrea Perrin. I love her. She's amazing. She really is. She's a really sweet person. Yeah. So I think, I think Bathsheba took a liking to him. So, hey, getting hit on from the other side. I love it. So the Mrs. John Arnold was a woman who died in 1797 by hanging after her husband John Arnold had died. Okay, so yeah, I can do that. Her grave can be found in Rhode Island. Yeah, I've seen it. Yes, Prudence Arnold lived in the Arnold estate until her parents died when she was 11. Oh, wow. At which point she was sent into care at the Aldrich farm in Uxbridge, where she was murdered. Also a young boy named Oliver Richardson. Okay, I've read the Oliver one. I know this, I think. Drowned behind the house in the 18th century, believed to be about 7 years old. A man named Jarvis Smith froze time death a few hundred yards away from the house on March 20th, 1901. It's interesting how Norma, who's Norma? Oh, the one that did the, okay, I understand what you're saying that, she had paranormal activity, but then when people started to go to her property, nothing happened. She said everything was a lie. Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. So it's interesting how Norma claims there was so much haunting activity occurring that then she changed as soon as people began trespassing on her property. I completely believe. I understand that, yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know how much is fabricated and how much is not. I believe what Andrea says because she was there. So, I mean, she lived it. So, the history, it's screwy. So we don't know for sure, but I like that. Thank you for your comment. That's really interesting. Gustavo, hi my brother, how are you? Lady Witch, Cindy Miller, Santa Muerte and Harley, Brent Edwards, Lord Welb, the partial son, Cara, Lay Lacusta, hi, Jay Phoenix, hi brother, Beetle Depth 3000, Diane Hannon, I love you. I do, I'm just like, I love you. I always do. Alexandra Hill. Hi. Ava Lagasse. Susie Civiter. My Queen of Negativity. J. Anthony W. Alchemy of Life. Hello. Kate the Witch. Hi, my love. How are you? Osami Yuichi? I hope I didn't butcher your name. I'm sorry if I did. Lisa Oakes. Hi. Mr. Dizzy Von Clutch. Sky Sullivan. Diana. Habib. Hi. I like that name. Thank you guys for your comments. Alright guys, well, what do you guys think? Yeah, I have a lot to say in 20 minutes, so I'm going to get off here. I love you guys. Please be safe, stay healthy, don't be going anywhere on me. All my love all the way from Venus. Always, all the way back down. I hope you guys have a great Witchy Wednesday. All my love, and just please be safe, you guys. I love you guys with all my heart. And thank you guys for your amazing comments and everything that you guys contribute to this channel. Because if it wasn't for you guys, this channel would be nothing. So, I love you all very, very, very much, and I will see you guys tomorrow.